Welcome to episode 31 of the Wheelhouse. I'm Andrew. I'm joined by Sterling.
Hello, Andrew.
And Gus.
Hello.
Is it by Sterling? With Sterling?
I'm joined by, yeah.
Joined by?
Yeah, I'm joined by, but Sterling, I'm also with you, so you could say that if you chose
Okay.
to.
I don't think it matters.
I got confused.
Well, good start.
That's unfortunate.
Well, how was your week, Gus? Your week of classes? Or your first week
Oh,
of
the
school?
first week of classes.
Or
it was.
not.
It
The
was.
ones you attended.
It was really good. Yeah, I missed as many classes as I had. So I missed 5 classes
In the first week?
in the first week. Yeah,
Wow.
Intentionally?
That's impressive.
intentionally. Well, one I accidentally woke up too late.
Yeah.
But-
Wait, that was Friday, right?
No, Friday I woke up at like 8 a.m., but I was just like, I'm not going to class. Thursday was a great night.
Great
Let's
night.
just say that
For all.
much. For all, yeah.
5 classes, though. That's so many.
5 classes.
Impressive.
I guess it's a lot for the first week. Yeah, maybe
It's a lot in
maybe went
general.
too hard.
In any week of school, to miss 5 classes in a week.
I missed another class.
That's
today.
about one a day. Like,
No, that is one a day.
Yeah.
Basic math. Yeah, that it's first week. It's boring. Who cares? I had no motivation to go. Well, I mean, I went to I went to every class still at least once.
At least
right?
once.
So, yeah,
How
on a
about you,
roll.
Sterling? Have you missed any classes yet?
I think one. Yeah, one so far, which is really good for me. So I'm like it's turning a new leaf. You know what I'm saying?
Don't miss 5 classes.
Is this some reform
Time.
program?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're easing into talking about
The problem.
The
Yeah.
problem.
your
yeah,
problem.
Andrew,
There
lock
is
the
no
door,
problem.
quick.
Hmm?
Lock the door.
I already locked it.
Good.
Yeah.
Let me out.
I only have, now officially I only have three days of classes, which is weird.
Yeah.
Which is like a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, and then Labor Day's on Monday, so you'll have a 5-day weekend, which is as many classes as Gus missed in his first week. And you don't even have class.
I know. Should be illegal, but it worked out that way.
Wow.
Don't know what I'm going to do with all my time.
More
What should I
time to
do?
do Wheelhouse homework.
We do
More time to play your PS Vita. Right?
Yes.
There you go.
I haven't touched it since
Persona 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think,
man.
yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I don't care.
Okay.
It's fine.
We just came back from a class that we all had, film theory, and we watched Umberto D.
Very toady.
Yeah. Did you guys like it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, actually. It was really sad, though.
Very sad.
Yeah.
I felt like it ran a bit too long, but it had.
How long was it? It's kind of hard to tell.
It felt.
I think it was
It
an hour
felt long.
40.
Probably-
That's my guess.
Yeah, probably an hour 40.
That's what it
around
felt
there.
like.
Yeah, but I mean, it had some great shots.
It really did, yeah.
Had an
It's-
interesting story.
It's under an hour and 30.
Plot.
No way.
It's an hour 29.
How long is
well,
a
that's
class?
impressive
A class is
because-
hour 50?
Yeah,
right.
so he had 20 minutes where he talked and then
Gotcha.
watched the movie.
Okay. See.
It sure felt like a long one, a
Yeah.
summer blockbuster of the
You
50s
could say, yeah.
in Italy. Yeah.
That was kind of really the dark night of 1950s Italian cinema, you know? That's what I would say.
I would say Transformers 2.
Well, that's
yeah.
unfortunate.
Italian neorealism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say Transformers 2. Italian neorealism.
Apparently, it's got nominated for 1 Oscar, Best Writing.
Umberto did?
No,
Transformers 2.
Cesare
Wait, what are you
What?
talking about?
Sabatini.
Are you talking
Umberto
about?
D.
The guy who wrote it, you're saying?
Yeah, got
Oh, I
nominated
thought you were
for.
saying that movie.
No.
Cesare?
Yes.
You sure it's not Cesar?
It could be. I'm not Italian.
Cesar.
Cesare.
Cesare Zavattini.
I have no idea.
Did he write Bicycle Thieves also? If he did,
He does have a credit for it.
good on
it
him.
says.
That movie's the bomb. Anyway. Let us begin the
Sweet.
show. For
Sweet.
reals. If you don't know how the show works, every week we each recommend a piece of media to the other two that they haven't done. It could be a book, could be a movie, could be an album. I still don't understand why I say book at first because we don't do like
We
full-on
never
books.
have we?
I've
Other
done
than
one over the
You did
summer.
a graphic novel. Oh,
I did a
okay,
book over
yeah,
the summer.
sure.
But it's just like, it feels like you got to start with book because books are.
Yeah, it's
you know,
like the
so big.
evolution of media.
Yeah.
You know? How come no one's ever recommended like like a slab, like a tablet with inscriptions?
I'm
on
gonna
it?
like a brochure or
A brochure?
something.
Oh, that's unique
Yeah. Postcard.
to say the least.
Yeah. We'll get there. But then we recommend each other, and then next week we go and do those things, come back, and review them.
Mhm.
We got, for recommendations, this week we got an album, a video game, and a movie, which is what we're doing. No, we're not doing that. We don't have a movie today. But we'll get to that. But for now, we're talking about...
I don't have a movie. Oh. I get you.
We're talking about an album that I recommended called Moondance. It is the third album by Van Morrison, released on January 27th, 1970. Wow. And when I first heard Van Morrison sing, I thought he was awful.
Really?
It was on Astral Weeks. And at the time, I wasn't like really into music. It was sort of like, I'll just go into like the list of like what I consider the greatest albums.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen to them. Didn't get it. Didn't understand it. But, after listening to more things, went back and appreciated it a lot more. Now I really like it. And then when I went to Moondance and listened to it, first 3 seconds of the first track, and it stoned me when it began. I fell in love with it instantly. It was just like,
that's a good start too. It goes right into it. There's
I know.
no introduction or anything. It's like song.
But like I could just tell instantly that it's so much different than Astral Weeks, which is a lot more like long form folk music, where this is like a lot more structured, typically structured, has a lot more pop elements. But and I loved it all the way through. But you guys, what is your history with Van Morrison other than loving Brown Eyed Girl?
That's
Brown Eyed Girl. That's
I think the
that's
only
probably
song
both
I
our
could
history.
name.
Yeah. I mean, I've owned Moondance and Astral Weeks for probably at least a couple years now,
Mm-hmm.
but I still haven't listened. Well, I've listened to Moondance now in full,
Mm-hmm.
but I still haven't listened to Astral Weeks in full. I've heard like certain tracks
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. But yeah, Van Morrison never captured my attention that much before.
Mm-hmm. But how about now?
But how about
After
now?
listening to Moondance.
Still doesn't really capture
no.
my
Mhm.
attention too much.
Because you're dumb.
Damn. Van
Actually-
Morrison, more like, man, you're done.
It's a...
What?
I don't know.
I'm here for the jokes.
Was that an
Gus.
anagram?
Continue, Gus.
No, he sounds like. Wait. I have to make sure about this. Is Van Morrison American?
No. He's
not.
Irish.
Okay.
Wow,
well, the
I did not know
Irish
that.
works fine anyway. Irish Mick Jagger is what he sounds like to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
He has that kind of same sort of.
Growl.
It's so
Yeah.
funny too because their names are also like weird. Like is Van his first name?
I don't think.
Because Van
So-
Morrison sounds like a last name, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so does Mick Jagger, But Mick is Mick.
I don't know.
Van Morrison, Sir George, Ivan,
Sir George
Van
Ivan.
Morrison.
Yeah.
So is he knighted? Is that what that's?
I guess, yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, probably.
Wow.
So I guess his nickname was Van.
From Ivan.
Or short for, yeah.
Wow.
Ooh. Anyway.
Lost my train of thought now because you're.
You love
You're
Moondance,
dang
and
Jack-
it's your
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
album of all time.
No.
That's where he was going with that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I didn't dislike it, but it didn't really have much of an impact on me.
Mhm.
What about you, Sterling?
I really liked it. There was a couple songs that were kind of slow for me, but other than that, like I'm really glad you recommended this actually because Van Morrison, like Brown Eyed Girl being the only song I've ever heard by Van Morrison, I
Mhm.
assume, like I think that's an amazing song. Like,
Mhm.
and I loved his voice like
Yeah.
on that song specifically. And all this kind of stuff like makes me like believe in his voice even more. Like I was super
I believe in
convinced
I
by
believe in his
Van.
voice.
I believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got them powerful growls, but also like something like Crazy Love. So
Yeah,
tender.
it's like really soulful,
Yeah.
almost like not in like a. Sometimes he kind of sounds African American.
Mhm.
He's Irish, not even American, but still, yeah, he's got such like a powerful like soul voice,
Mhm.
and then all the songs are kind of like blues rock, like
Yeah.
poppy a little bit. So yeah, it's just a really nice, refreshing thing to hear for me since
I think refreshing is a good word because it does blend so many different genres and
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
together. And instrumentation too, which I love. How like there's always some instrument that has like a sort of like a frill that comes in, like
like the flute.
like a measure, like a flute's gonna do something neat, and then like
Mhm.
some horns would come in, or the piano stands out for a little bit, and it always does that.
Yeah.
So there's like always some like texture to the song.
There's good variety
Yeah.
to the
Yeah, it's
instrumentation.
cool arrangements. I don't remember which song it is, but there's one with like this kind of like, it has like an acoustic guitar solo, and it sounds like improvised a little bit.
It might
You know
have
what I
been
mean?
And It Stoned Me.
Maybe. But yeah, it sounds
dude.
really live and really real and like warm and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's something I really liked about this album is production wise, like it sounds like a live band.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
that
super cool.
I think one of the reasons that is because also how they use stereo panning. How sometimes, and they change it up all the time between songs. Sometimes the drums are centered, and other times it's like drums are like on the left all by themselves. But then there's so many instruments, and they're all balanced. Like some instruments on the left, some on the right, and usually the vocals are right in the middle. That it does like not only add that layer of texture, but also feeling like you're surrounded by all the musicians playing for you. That's what I love about it. I like the lyrics a lot too. They're sort of always kind of like contemplating about like life and love, but they're not really too overt about it. Like, yeah, you got songs like Moondance and Crazy Love, but most of the time he does sort of tell like these stories or vignettes almost that sort of center around it without saying anything too overt.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You had a bone to pick with one
I have a
lyric.
bone to pick with a word
Yeah.
in a song. Yeah, Van Morrison. He has some pretty good lyrics. Like listening to "And It Stoned Me," I was like, oh yeah, and "Stone Me" is, I don't know if it's my favorite song, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I really
that's
like
my
it.
favorite song.
Yeah, it tells a story, pulls you along.
Yeah, and so I really enjoyed that. And then goes into track 2, titular track, Moondance. And it's nice and
jazzy.
Yeah, jazzy, and it feels like you're out on the town on like a Friday night or something, you know.
With a cigarette in your hand,
Yeah.
moonlight.
Pinstripe suit. And then pretty early on in the song, he says a word that just rubs me the wrong way.
Trigger.
And there was a genius annotation about it that I read, and I didn't excuse it still. The word is fantabulous, used in a serious context.
Mhm.
It is not tongue-in-cheek. He's basically the Cobra starship of his generation now.
Fantabulous night to make room.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was just hearing that, and then I just heard the word fantabulous, I was like, did he really say fantabulous?
I mean, it might have been serious at the time.
Maybe, but that's a
Didn't
word that
age.
hasn't. It's like in Born in the USA when Bruce Springsteen's like, I'm a cool rockin' daddy.
Cool rockin' daddy,
it's like,
yeah.
oh god, cringe.
I'm fine with it.
But other than that, what fantabulous?
Yeah, sure.
No,
I don't say it.
it
but
totally
Pulls you out.
drills me. Yeah,
it
it
stones you.
no, that definitely doesn't do that.
Stones me like jelly roll.
Stones me with actual stones, maybe.
Mhm.
But the rest of the song is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sterling, your favorite songs? And It Stoned Me, you said was your
Yeah,
favorite.
that's definitely my top one. And then I also like 1 through 4 are
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And
For
then
the first half, I think, yeah.
I think I think Into the Mystic is one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Into the Mystic's like middle for me, but it is still amazing.
Is that that's the Foghorn one?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one's great. Starling's just flat out
think,
incorrect.
It needs to go back.
I
yeah.
think "Come Running By" it kind of reminded me of Paul Simon in a little bit
Come
when
Running.
he starts getting into like his more upbeat stuff, and I liked "Come Running By." Come Running. Wow, I really liked "Come Running" by Van Morrison lyrics. That was a good one.
That's a good song.
I also like Moondance by.
Moondance by, and "It Stoned Me By." That's a good one.
I like Brand New Day a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was
A lot more slow paced.
one of the better ones on the second. Probably my favorite one on the second half of the
Mhm.
album. I think the first half is definitely stronger
Yes.
than the second
Hands
half.
down. My favorite song is Caravan. It starts at a piano trill, and then
Yeah.
it comes in, and the caravan is on its way. Also, in general, especially the first half, a lot of songs, they save a lot of, Van Morrison saves a lot of big moments for the end. Like how there's that sort of like overlapping vocals towards the end. Also, and It Stoned Me too, he really belts it out at the end. Just in general, I think this song has like a lot of great endings. I think only one has like a fade out. Everything else is like does something interesting at the end. Least favorite songs or songs you don't care It's definitely in the second half here.
Crazy Love first half. Don't like Crazy
You
Love.
don't like
that much.
Crazy Love?
No.
See, I originally didn't like it either. I thought it was kind of like cheesy on first listen.
I just think it's kind of boring and typical.
It's so pretty.
yeah, I like the lyrics at the beginning. It's really like kind of soothing, like reading through it and listening.
Like when I first heard this album,
Yeah.
it just sounded like a different person.
I can
entirely.
hear her heartbeat from 1,000 miles.
Heavens open every time she smiles. That's like, it's a little heavy-handed, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's poetic.
No, I
that's
don't.
nice.
I don't think that's very. I think
How
that's
about this
like
poetry right here?
lazy
She give
poetic.
me see originally this is what I had
Smiles,
problems with was
smiles.
that it like the first I think it's Crazy Love and maybe Moondance I thought were kind of cheesy upon first listen,
Mm-hmm.
but
I can
after
see
about 2 or 3 listens I
Moondance.
started appreciating a little more. I think
Mm-hmm.
I think Moondance is like gimmicky, but I still like it.
Like lyrically?
Just like the whole
Or
thing
the
about
whole-
it.
how
It's
this
just yeah,
shit
its whole feeling
Shtick.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. With Crazy Love, I just like I don't want to listen to it when I'm listening to it. So it's probably my least favorite overall.
Oh, wow.
It's
There's,
just the thing about the second half and most of the songs is that I think they're pretty forgettable. Like Glad Tidings, I don't really care for as a
I was the
closer.
same where I just listened to the first half over and over, but I listened to the second half more and like they're memorable now
Mhm.
because I've listened to them.
yeah.
But yeah, I also did the same way because the first half is so strong, and then they're all good still. But
Is Everyone the one with like the harpsichord thingy at the
Yes.
beginning?
Mhm.
Okay.
And the one
that's
in-
probably my least favorite.
and the one in Royal Tenenbaums
Oh, is it really?
Oh, really?
at the end, yeah.
I like the harpsichord.
Mhm.
It kind of made me think of that little Beatles song in Rubber Soul. I don't remember which one is that. You know what I mean?
Sure. You don't like that bass line for Glad Tidings?
No,
Remember?
Glad Tidings is on my upper echelon of tracks on this album. I mean,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. So none of you love it like I do. All right, that's fine.
What, Glad Tidings or
No,
the,
Moondance.
or the album?
I do.
Just
I
as-
do
just as a
indeed
whole.
love it. I
You
never
love
said
it.
I don't love it. Yeah.
I don't love it,
That's fine.
but I think it's a good record.
Yeah. You're gonna go listen to Astral Weeks now?
Probably not anytime soon, really. But
Very different.
one day.
A lot more stream of consciousness. Most songs are like 7 minutes long.
Yeah. That was the big part about why I never listened to it in the first place, because I was like, I don't know, with long songs back to back to back.
And it is something where
So-
like it doesn't hook you right away. You gotta like listen to it.
Yeah.
At least for me. Whereas this has like a lot more it's more melodically driven.
It's got pop appeal.
Yeah.
That number 29 on Billboard.
Pop peel. Oh, 29, huh?
Yeah, that's surprisingly high. I didn't think this
Surprisingly
was
high.
like a
Is
hit
this
album.
pre or post Brown Eyed Girl?
Post.
This is his third album, you said?
Yeah, so he had a big hit with Brown Eyed Girl. I believe
Yeah.
it's on his first album. And then he made Astral Weeks, and that like bombed
Yeah.
commercially. And then he decided he wanted to do something that was commercially
Oh, okay.
viable.
That makes
made
sense.
Moondance, and yeah,
Well, I mean, that's
blew everyone's minds,
Did it?
including mine, but not
Well,
yours.
critically, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, 29's not bad on the albums. I'm not ripping on Van Morrison, you know. Critically, yeah, of course, yeah. He did.
All right.
Actually, no, I read that Moondance went 3 times platinum, so he got his fair share.
Oh, cool. All right. Enough with good old Van. Moving on to what Gus recommended.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah. Video game.
Reagan's.
Reagan's?
No.
Reagan's by.
Reagan's
I love
by.
Reagan's by.
Reagan's by Devolver Digital.
Which I think is misleading because they didn't develop the game. They published it.
Ooh,
Ah.
yeah.
Maybe they're
Yes.
just riding the coattails.
But they Devolver
publisher.
Digital is a bigger name. But yeah, we're talking about Reigns, which is a video game. It came out on iOS, Android, PC on August 11th, 2016. It was developed by Nerial and published by Devolver Digital. Oh yeah, Gus, how did you find about this game?
I don't really remember. I think it was on a podcast.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I heard someone talk about it, and then it sounded kind of interesting because
yeah.
I needed some new game for my phone. I don't really play games that often on my phone,
Mhm.
and so
Yeah, I was pretty surprised you suggested.
Yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
about how we didn't think this was the sort of game you would like.
I said we can get into that. That'll come up
Yeah.
naturally, I think. when we talk
nah,
about it.
man, I dig it.
It's your jam.
Yeah, simple, and it's a time pass. Okay, well, okay, so both these knuckleheads in the room with me right here, I told them, go listen to the last recording. Yeah, get it soon. I don't know if this is verbatim, but it's along the lines of get it soon, because I mean, I definitely wouldn't recommend what like at least Sterling did, which is play it 3 hours at one point. Okay, yeah, he had some difficulties purchasing the item or getting it, something along those lines. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good time passer. You know, play like a minute or two and then
die one time and then move on
yeah.
and then come back to it.
Plus, I mean, I had Tinder, so it's like I'm familiar with the simple interface. Yeah. And that was very
I like the
addicting.
Tinder reference too in the game.
Yeah.
There is?
See, that's okay. Yeah, I was playing this last night, right? And Andrew before I was playing it, Andrew downloads Bumble, right? For Helen's research, right?
Allegedly.
And Andrew's like, "Oh, Rains is exactly like this." You know, when he was swiping along.
They copied Rains
in the game, like when you learn how to love or whatever from the lady who teaches you white magic.
Yeah.
That's literally it's literally ye old Tinder on the game. Like you swipe, it says like or nah, which is literally what it says on Tinder. Yeah.
Mm.
And you like play like Tinder inside this game, basically, which is funny.
Rip off.
They ripped off Tinder.
Tinder ripped off Rains.
But, dang.
Yeah.
This game is thousands of years old.
Let me give a little background of what this game is about. In Reigns, you play a king tasked with ruling your nation, but when you die, and you will die, you play the next king in the lineage. On the gameplay front, you sort of had these cards that you see, and then on each card there's like a character and a scenario, and you have to swipe left or right, deciding how you want to deal with that. It's usually like yes or no. Like for example, it's like, oh, like this kingdom to the west is going to invade us soon. You know, should we try and make peace with them or fight them right off the bat? And you can decide what to do. And then based on your decisions, it affects 4 statistics: the church, the people, the army, and the treasury. And sort of the goal of the game is to sort of keep all 4 of those balanced and try and like extend your reign and be in power as long as you can. So some good things about the game: the interface and aesthetic, very minimalist, but very sleek. Devolver Digital sort of specializes in sort of indie games that aren't too like graphically heavy, but I think it looks nice.
Yeah,
pleasant
it
looking.
works.
Yeah. And as far as playing it on the phone, like actually just like the simple act of swiping, it's like very tactile and it feels nice, which Sterling couldn't do because you're playing on the PC.
It's kind of weird. It was like a drag and slide.
So it was drag. Yeah. That does sound weird.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't that bad. It doesn't take that much work.
But like it pretty much looks the same between PC and mobile. The only big difference is like the actual gameplay is still like the same aspect ratio as the phone, but you have less background to pad it out.
Yeah, they like filled it in.
That looks
but
really
still
cheap. They look like backgrounds out of Save the Date.
Yeah.
Just like really fast, quickly made.
It was the same price, right?
It was $3.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Something small I also like is this sort of timeline you see after you die. It shows how long you reigned, and then like, oh, this person died. And very simple, but you know, it adds to the charm.
It's funny.
Gameplay wise, would you guys? I know Sterling and I have some problems that we'll get to, but what is sort of your feelings right when you started playing? Gameplay wise, I really liked it because it sort of throws you in.
You're saying?
Like when you first start playing Reigns.
Yeah.
Because it sort of throws you in there. It doesn't give a lot of explanation. You guys sort of figure stuff out as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I like that too. I wasn't really understanding the statistic little guys on the top.
Yeah,
but,
it took a while to even know what they meant. So.
Yeah, exactly. But as you go, you learn, and then also as you go, more like options and cards and scenarios like present themselves, and the longer you last, the more crazy story stuff happens.
As you accomplish challenges, you get more cards.
Oh yeah, there's like a whole
changes.
achievement system.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And it also gives the king at the time a nickname. Like George the Lover or something like that.
Yeah, depending on sort of what you do.
Yeah.
Or the duelist if you do a lot of dueling.
Yeah. Which there's like a whole like, and there's another game inside a game element. There's like the duels or whatever, where you swipe for attack or defend.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
But What'd you think about like making the decisions? Did you feel like there's repercussions to what you had to do?
So originally, I was like, okay, I want to make the people really happy, and I wasn't really paying attention to the.
Oh, you
statistic
thought it
thing.
was like you level up a certain thing? Is that what you're...
Like it would fill up, and
Yeah.
so that's what I originally thought. But then eventually, I was like, oh, I just want like the kingdom to be happy and everyone to like all this good stuff.
You
to
need
happen.
balance, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But
if you
then
do max some stuff out, that you die.
Exactly.
die.
Yeah, you
Eh.
learn that like sometimes you got to make some sacrifices.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, like please stop the abuse of women. I was like, no, my people are
But
too
my
high.
statistic says no. And yeah, I do think there's some weight to the decision. Sometimes, like when you make a choice, there's like a card afterwards that explains like what happens.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
One does that a few times, but initially I thought that was effective.
And then you have that funny executioner character.
Oh, yeah.
With dreams of like being a strawberry farmer or something like that.
Horticulture.
Yeah.
And wanted to quit his job.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. There's also a good dark sense of humor at times.
Yeah.
Which or some bizarre humor also, like with the pigeon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who growls at you?
Who has a name.
Yeah.
what was it
It's
like?
some Japanese name.
Some hateful
or something.
boyfriend
Some
name.
hateful
That's totally a reference. I
Maybe
refuse to
it's
believe not.
crossover.
Did you see what one of the objectives was? It's a
Yep.
data pigeon.
I still haven't gotten
That's
that.
totally a reference.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
probably
see that.
is.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it either.
But I'll spend 19 hours trying to find out.
No, just look up a guide.
Yeah.
Do that.
Music too, very sparse,
Yeah.
but
Didn't listen to the music. Play with the sound off.
sure.
Usually with
you
the
could.
podcast
It's not
on
essential.
if I'm like
Yeah.
No,
playing
it's
in my
not.
room or something.
But music done by Disaster Piece, who did a soundtrack for Fez and It Follows, and he's awesome. So,
Yeah.
any more good things you got to say before we rip it apart?
Rip it apart. What was I gonna say?
That Moondance is your favorite album of all time.
Yes. The consequence thing.
Yeah.
I think so it's definitely not like randomized at all. So it's the same consequences if
Yeah.
you choose so when one of your kings dies, and they inevitably all do.
Yeah.
You can get the same cards again, at least sometimes. Unless it's like an objective or something.
Mhm.
And so they'll always have the same consequences in that regard. So you
Yeah.
can
So you learn.
you learn,
Yeah.
You do learn, and it's not terribly difficult to like remember what
Mhm.
does what. There are a few times like more the rare cards.
Yeah, they're the ones that don't pop up as much.
Yeah. But there's definitely some what's cryptic things to this. Like at least in terms of some of the challenges. Like I swear I've swiped every direction on the pigeon, and I
Yeah.
still don't know how to get
Yeah.
data pigeon.
Yeah.
I don't know how to trick the devil. I thought I did. I thought I almost did. So the devil gives you like he gives you a kill spell or whatever.
Yeah.
So when the next person you say yes to dies,
Yeah.
and so obviously I was like, oh, it has to do with that.
Yeah.
And so you have that until you use it. So even if the king that gets it dies, it carries on.
Yeah.
And so I kept doing it until I found. I thought it was the dog that
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to say yes to, because there's one thing that the dog does where you can say yes or no.
Mhm.
And but I couldn't find it, and then eventually I got to the part where it's the shield king guy who talks to you at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so I was like, whatever. And so I swiped yes on him. And then it was like, you tried to trick me. And so I was like, so wait, did I almost get it? I don't understand.
I just remembered something as you're talking about that. I know how to date the pigeon.
Oh.
So you know when you get to the Tinder swipey
Yeah.
love fest, right?
Yeah.
If you swipe no on all of them, she says like, would you like to try again? You click try again, and different options come up, including
A pigeon?
the pigeon.
What?
Yeah.
I thought I did that.
Yeah, but I didn't click on the pigeon. I didn't date the pigeon
Why?
because
I didn't
I
even
had
think about
the all-seeing eye or clarity or whatever,
Oh.
and I was like, which one would give me the best stats? And it
Minus
was
100 all if you
princess
date
or
a
whatever.
pigeon.
Yeah,
Dang.
the church
okay.
won't be happy. That's
Yeah.
that's
Well,
all I can
there's the
say.
answer to one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's get into some complaints.
Dive
Yeah.
on in.
So talking about making decisions and seeing cards a lot, there are some pacing issues with this game. I think it starts
Like
off
what?
great. You know, you meet the devil. when at the year 666. At the beginning, you're learning all the new scenarios. You've never seen any of them before. You're meeting characters constantly.
Mm.
You're completing objectives constantly, and you're also like getting this sign like, oh, you're getting new cards all the time.
Mm.
But around like year 1000, you know, you start seeing some of the same cards again. You don't see characters as much. You don't get new objectives as much.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of continues on for the big middle portion of the game.
Yeah.
So there comes a point where it was just like, especially towards the end, that like you kind of know what all the scenarios are and you know what the effects will be. So it's just like sort of automatic at that point. You're not really even thinking about what the card's saying. And because of that, some of the decisions, they become sort of inconsequential, you know, and you're trying to get through to just find new stuff.
I did want there to be more content, and I think they definitely have room to put more. I don't know if they will. It's still on. I mean, it's on version 1.01. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll update it a bunch.
Or there's DLC, new card packs.
New card packs, yeah.
DLC.
But I know Sterling also got kind of frustrated with that too.
Yeah, I had like basically the same experience, but for me, I played it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
It took 3 hours to get to. I got to like year 2000, and I stopped because I was like, oh, okay, this is a big checkpoint. I'm done. And
It's
the little guy came up
2016
and
is where it ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
Could have kept going.
you were 16 swipes away.
Yeah. It and see the reasons I didn't like it remind me or what surprised me that you like this game because it's it's similar to Save the Date.
It is, but it's not in its simple gameplay of its own. The swiping and just doing that, and that's why I prefer it to Save the Date. Save the Date drove me crazy because I felt like I was going. It was like Groundhog Day, over and over
that's
and
what it
over
is.
and
And
over.
to me, that's what this
exactly.
ended up feeling like, just because of the way I ended up playing it. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I did it like throughout the week and stuff on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I played through this 3 times already.
Yeah,
I'm still going, trying to get all the things. It's just that swiping, swipe left, swipe right is so easy, and it's just So I think that's why. Also, when I played Save the Date, it was a situation where I had to do it in one sitting. So I was very annoyed by that. So maybe I would have enjoyed Save the Date more if I had started earlier.
Yeah, I played through Reigns twice, and just like getting the second playthrough, just getting stuff was such a slog. Cause I'm like, I know, just go. But I did trick the double because I looked up.
Oh, you did?
On a guide.
Nice. What'd you do?
Because you said like there's an ending.
Yeah.
And I thought you sort of alluded to the fact that there's like a special ending if you play it through again.
Oh.
So I thought that was it if you tricked a double.
No, sorry.
So that's why I went through again. But I looked through a guide. And do you guys care for spoilers?
No. I need to know.
Getting the double ending
anyway.
is so obtuse. You kind of have to use a guide in a way.
Seems like it, yeah.
You have to go into the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get the torch, you could break down walls. And there's a specific order in what doors you need to get to.
Oh.
To actually meet, the skeleton guy you meet, you actually talk to him.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's like 5 different doors. You gotta go fire door. And salt door, and then like
break a wall,
and then choose this acid door, and then go,
See, the dungeon portion was very like mystifying to me at first,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Am I supposed to? Is the words like a hint? Like, oh, you smell?"
I think there is a little hint. Like, isn't air always like the door outside?
For me, it was gold. Always had a chest.
Gold always had a chest,
and then
for me, air always was the door outside.
I guess it was air. Yeah. So I guess it's the same every time.
But I don't know how anybody would get to that without just once you like sometimes you die in the dungeon and then you gotta wait until you're offered that opportunity again. So I don't know how anyone would just find that without looking it up. But then, so the way you trick the devil, apparently the skeleton guy likes strawberries a lot, and you know that green vase thing with the guy inside.
Yeah.
And you give him the fresh blood or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. He says, okay, I could give you a life for anything. What do you want? After talking to the skeleton, you go, oh, I want a strawberry because they don't exist anymore. You get a strawberry. Yeah. You give it to the skeleton. And then he joins your kingdom. He's like, oh, I'll help you. You meet the devil. You get the death wish thing. And then when you meet the skeleton and he asks you like, oh, he asks you like, you want me to help? If you say yes to the skeleton, the devil's like, well, this guy's already dead. I can't kill him.
Oh
and then the devil's like, oh, you beat me. And then it's just this ending. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. It was so underwhelming
Dang.
and completely unrewarding. It kind of pissed me off a little bit
That's pretty funny.
because I had to play like almost to like 1500 to get around there, and for that to be like, oh, you tricked me, the end. Yeah, kind of
Game
sad.
over.
Jeez.
Oh, one of my cons. Not enough names for the kings. There's like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it
10
just
names
rotates.
on rotation. Adamar, George,
And for a game
James,
where
Henry.
the people made it know you're gonna die like 100 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want names.
Couple. My last con are there's some weak systems in this game. We talked about dueling.
Mhm.
I think that was very underdeveloped and
I have
felt
no
out
idea
of
how
place.
it'll
I think it might be random. I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with I don't know if it has to do with the text or
And
what.
you like learn new moves, but
Yeah,
it's so bizarre.
I don't think those matter. I could be
Maybe
wrong,
those are just
but
like achievements or like they go in your accomplishment.
But there's one
list or
called
whatever.
Unexpected Proposal, and if you do that,
Yes.
you automatically win.
yes. Well,
But how do you do it?
no, they propose to you.
No, you could do.
You
that
can do
move.
it to
I've done
them?
That move, and then
Oh.
you like go down on knees, show them flowers, and they just die.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that. I
Yeah.
don't know if I did that on purpose.
That
though.
happens to me. Like they do it to me.
They do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, complete. Because it's so underdeveloped. It doesn't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They could have fleshed it out to a point where it's like strategic, but it does feel a lot more random. And also when there's some like sort of perks or like curses you get that automatically increase or decrease your stats
Oh yeah.
per second,
Like if you have a crusade.
Oh yeah.
and they're always bad. You know.
well, yeah,
They always ruin you.
yeah.
Well,
That's another
there's the-
condition.
The money one, like where your money is constantly
Yeah.
going up, which could be bad. But
No, for me, it's always bad. It always like made me die.
so
Either,
so when you get that, now you're working against time because you have to keep lowering it.
yeah, I know, but it felt a little stacked against the player to me.
He's a newbie,
Damn.
3-time player. I can deal with it.
All right.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, when that happens, like I don't want when I know the choices are going to like get me into a crusade or whatever, or have the Silk Road.
Yeah.
Then I avoid doing them. So
Exactly.
I don't have to do it.
But it should be something where it's sort of like you could take a risk and you could reasonably survive the game with it. But now
Yeah.
the fact that we all avoid it, it's like
I don't know.
it's not-
You
For me,
can-
Silk
you
Road I
can.
thought was good because every time it goes up, you just click the ones that take your money down.
Well, that's what I mean by
Yeah.
you just.
I mean, you
race
could do
against
that, but I felt like I feel like I died
You
from
can
that,
do
and
it.
I could have lasted longer.
See,
if
that's
I
the
didn't
only
have
one
it.
that didn't
That,
kill
I mean,
me.
that's
The other
that's
ones
the
were
point. It's another
terrible.
condition. That's the whole point.
Then you just avoid it all the time, and then it just becomes
Sometimes
obsolete.
you can't though. Like I mean,
Yeah, like if
I've
your
had
other
to do
option will-
I've had to do Silk Road if it.
All right.
I think that's why they have them in there.
Anyway,
Anyway,
all right. On to number 3.
Whoa.
What?
that was abrupt.
Yeah. Well, I'm moving along. I'm hungry.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. Guys, have your way.
Reigns.
Rick and Morty.
Yes. The
See,
last
I would
thing.
definitely recommend Reigns to certain people. Like there's people I know would play Reigns.
Oh, we're still talking about Reigns?
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
when you said that was abrupt, I was like, yeah, I wanted to say something else, but I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
All right,
Screw
let's
you, Gus.
quickly. Let's go.
Yeah,
Andrew.
no, I think Reigns is a game I think people should play, but I would never play it again. Probably.
I think there's a lot of potential there. Maybe for a sequel.
Maybe
They,
for a sequel.
polish
Oh,
it
that'd
up.
be
Maybe
cool,
for updates, free more content. Hopefully
That'd-
not
yeah,
like
that'd be awesome.
hopefully not
Or
pay
like-
to paid
download.
DLC or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a sci-fi pack where it's like going through science
Oh,
fiction.
that'd
or
be
That, maybe
cool.
that's Reigns too.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, just like a different universe.
That'd be
That'd
cool.
be funny. They could do some wacky things.
Yeah.
Speaking of sci-fi,
Speaking of sci-fi,
Nice transition.
We're talking
That was on
about
purpose.
Sick.
Rick
Yeah.
and Morty, television show that Sterling recommended. We
Yes,
were
I
talking
did.
specifically about season 2, episodes 4, 5, and 6, because those were free on Adult Swim, but not for long. They expire after a period, which
Is,
we learned.
is season 1, 2, and whatever not? Because I thought I saw them on there.
You need a
I think I
cable
had like a
provider
little, yeah.
to watch them.
That's weird.
So
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
Rick and Morty, created by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. It's an adult animated TV series on Adult Swim. Follows Rick Sanchez, an alcoholic mad scientist, and his grandson Morty, 14-year-old, who gets caught up in Rick's sci-fi experiments. And so while a lot of the show is sort of about, Rick and Morty on their wacky adventures, there's also some family drama because there's a family. You have Morty's parents, Beth and Jerry, and Morty's sister. Sorry. Morty's
Slip.
sister, Summer. And the family usually gets swept up in the shenanigans as well. But Yeah, we watch episodes 4, 5, and 6. Sterling, have you seen every episode?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's only like
It's not that much.
2 seasons out right now. Apparently the third one's coming out this year, season 3. How about we start with Gus? Your thoughts on Rick and Morty, 3 episodes.
Overall.
It's a really good show.
Right.
It's really funny.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Was that an allusion
What?
to my first podcast I ever did called A Really Good Show?
No, I didn't. I
You
didn't.
wish.
I didn't know that was in existence.
Anyway,
Yeah, it was easy to get into. Actually, of the 3 we watched, episode 4 was my favorite.
Yeah, episode
total
was amazing.
Total recall. That was
See,
awesome.
It's so
Reminded me
it's
of
funny
The Thing.
because 3. I don't mean to interrupt you here, but this reminded me of something I think was really important because originally I wanted you guys to watch. I think it was 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
Or no, yeah, 3, 4, and 6. But 3 expired on the
Yeah.
Adult Swim website, so they had to watch 4, 5, and 6. And 4 was actually a really interesting one to watch first, I think, because
Yeah.
of the whole aspect of like these other characters, and you get to know the
Yeah.
characters who already exist, and then you have the comedy and the
Yeah.
science fiction element. And yeah.
but I do think that the star of Rick and Morty is the writing. The writing
Yeah.
is just so good. It's equal parts like absurd, but also grounded because you do have like this like aliens and sci-fi stuff going on, but then you do have like times when they're just sitting at a dinner table dealing with stuff. The writing is like, as far as comedy goes, sometimes it's very smart.
Oh yeah.
Other times it's really childish. Like
Yeah.
what was it, Mr. Poopy Butthole?
Mr. Poopy Butthole. Yeah.
That was my least favorite part of the episode. Yeah.
But like if you even look at like the theme song that plays over, like some of the flies across is just like 3 + 3 = 6. Like it's so childish, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But it all works as a whole.
Did you notice Mr. Poopy Butthole in the theme song of episode 4?
No.
Because he doesn't appear in the theme song usually because he was
Yeah.
well, but anyways he was in the episode 4 theme song, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. And then going back to writing, like the pacing, it's breakneck pace. Everything's moving. There's always something new happening. And the dialogue is also great.
Mm-hmm.
Rick and Morty, it's very distinct. Rick being very foul-mouthed, which is awesome. But it's also kind of weird that it's like a TV 14 rating. So at times, some words are bleeped, but I think that kind of adds to the charm a little
Yeah.
bit.
So they like would bleep shit, but then I mean I don't know if I've ever seen in at least a cartoon show before syndicated on TV flipping the bird and it being shown. I
mean,
don't
it
think
means
I've
peace.
seen that.
Fun world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it means
Fun
peace.
It's okay.
They do that in South Park a lot, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Flipping the
Okay,
bird,
okay.
Voice acting is also great. You asked before who voice acted. Rick and Morty are both voiced by Justin Roiland,
Yeah.
which is pretty crazy. Same guy.
Who's that?
He
He's the
created
guy, one of
show.
the creators.
Yeah, he's a co-creator,
Who's that?
and he voices both characters.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty impressive, you
Yeah.
gotta say. And then let's talk about animation, because adult animation, especially Adult Swim, animation is usually not the reason you go
Yeah,
see these.
usually it's pretty like they're like Squidbillies
Oh,
and
yeah.
Super
And
Prison
Aqua Teen
and
Hunger Force.
Aqua Teen Hunger
Even South Park,
Force.
like how the characters
Yeah,
are.
I mean, that's not Adult Swim though.
I know. I'm saying in,
You just
in general.
adult
general adult
comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rick and Morty's it looks great. It looks
Yeah.
like it's like a Fox or ABC, CBS, whatever
Yeah.
show.
The animation still is a little stiff, but it's very colorful. Character designs very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not fluid, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it works.
Yeah. I think the design makes up for it.
Yeah. It's colorful.
Yeah. Which I like
Mhm.
them colors.
Yeah.
Something I was surprised about was how excellent the supporting cast was. I thought it would just be Rick and Morty doing their thing.
Right.
But all the family members too. They add a lot to the show, which I think is cool. You want to talk about specific episodes?
Sure. What was your favorite?
My favorite, it's got to be episode 4. No, probably episode 5.
Really, episode 5?
I don't know. This
Get swifty.
just because of Ice-T.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's the
That's pretty
only
incredible.
reason.
It's pretty special.
But we'll
And
start
then
with
Gus, you said episode 4, right?
4.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Total Recall,
Total
which is a
Recall.
play on Total Recall.
Let's
Mhm.
play on Total Recall.
Yeah.
Is that
With
really
Arnold
the plot of
Schwarzenegger.
Total Recall?
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's all about like you don't know exactly who is who, and sort of like he's transported to like another world, but you don't know if that world's real or if anybody around him's real. Yeah, so it's very similar.
Because I was like, oh, it's like The Thing. The Thing didn't put what? I guess it didn't implant memories, but it still could like emulate its host and whatnot. It could speak, right? I think whatever. Anyway,
episode 4, yeah, I think is a good one to get into because it introduces all the characters, but also the use of like flashbacks is
It's
awesome.
pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
yeah.
And sometimes you don't even realize you're in a flashback.
Yeah.
And it'll cut back out, and they're like, and there's all these new characters or whatever.
like when the was it Morty who's in the kitchen?
I think so.
Whacking off.
yeah.
Oh, because they all have to think about like, oh, if I have a bad memory of this person, then they're real.
Yeah.
And all the characters are looking at each other trying to think. Some of those are hilarious. Yeah. And there's some like what I like about the show. There's some jokes they just like fly by. They're like, it's a joke, and then just goes back to the story.
Oh yeah, like every line like means something funny or means something important, which is amazing.
But there's something that's so ridiculous, like the whole 3DS gag with Rick coming in like, oh, there's a
yeah,
sale on
the
3DS, you
Zelda
gotta buy them all.
3DSs.
And, you know, and that's in a sense relatable. But then also the whole the gay scene between like Jerry and Gary
and
on the yacht.
Sleepy Gary.
Sleepy Gary.
And the whole like Chewbacca, like that Star Wars thing, like they didn't even need to throw that Star Wars thing.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, but it just
is that a part of maybe what's the character's name? Not Gary, but the other dude.
Sleepy.
Not Gary.
Oh, Jerry?
Jerry.
Yeah.
Wait, is Chewbacca?
Is he like a Star Wars freak in the show
No.
or something like that?
No, not at
Okay.
all.
Is Sleepy Gary in the other episodes?
No, see, that's why what's interesting
Yeah.
about this being the first episode you saw. Like, do you remember the intro before the theme song? There's like Uncle Steve or whatever his name is. Yeah, I can only imagine that you guys watching it were like, yeah, Uncle Steve. So I was thinking about that and I was like, oh god, that's got to be crazy. Like you don't know who's a real character.
And then he dies.
Sleepy Gary is not a recurring character.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Sleepy Gary is a parasite.
Yeah.
Great
Which is
episode.
funny.
Yeah.
to start
How
with.
it's structured, just so smart.
I know. And Mr. Poopy Butthole is not actually in any other episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But they wanted the joke, that he was actually real.
Oh, that adds another dimension there.
pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely one of the best. Episode 5, Get Swifty,
Swifty.
which I had heard that these songs before
Yeah.
because I guess they broke into mainstream because they're so strange.
Yeah.
Premises, there's like a giant head that appears before Earth and says,
What
does
does it say? Yeah.
Show me what you
show me
got.
what
yeah.
And then the government's all freaking out. What do we do? Do we nuke it? And then Rick comes in and is like, no, you got to play a song for it.
Yeah.
And they do. Yeah. Talk about absurdism. Awesome. With iced tea, you could transform into a block of ice. And at the end, it's revealed that he's actually a tea.
Yeah.
Block of tea.
yeah.
But then the numbers come and fight. It's just so dumb, but it's so funny.
was.
Yeah.
And he breaks out with 2 guns on his end of his iced tea. It's like, oh my God.
It's hilarious.
The one thing I didn't like about this episode
Yeah.
was the satire and religion was sort of, I felt, a little too ham-fisted.
Really?
They kind of like beat a dead horse, especially towards the end. I think even like Jerry says at one point, it's like, oh, we correlated these things and made a religion. I was like, a little strange how just, and I felt it went a little too, not too far, but it was just like, I get the point. And I've seen this before,
Pastor's son, Yeah.
And you're going to see again, satire was fine, but it was like how they did it was a little
Yeah, I understand that.
obtuse. You actually like the show, this episode, with the 50 songs.
I mean, I liked every episode, but
Yeah.
this was probably my least favorite
Yeah,
of the
no,
three.
me too. But it's still really good. And
You didn't like that principal vagina?
Swifty. No, I didn't. Actually, no, I did. Yeah, but the Ricks must be crazy.
Episode 6.
Yeah.
I like more. Yeah.
I love this episode
Is it good?
so much.
Yeah,
So
the
funny.
fucking car.
Yeah.
Keep Summer safe.
So
Yeah.
it's so
That whole
great.
psychological with
Yeah,
the baby.
yeah.
Like, so perfect.
That was the best part.
Like, that's worse than slicing some guy up with lasers.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the intercut between Summer in the car being traumatized.
Yeah.
And Rick and Morty going within
In the
a
car battle.
microverse in a microverse in a microverse, probably in another microverse, trying to get his car battery to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hilarious hijinks
So
ensues.
funny. Yeah.
And again, talking about like mini jokes, like the whole flipping off being like peace among worlds thing.
Yeah.
Also the slow ramp thing, something so small. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you gotta make your ramp slow. And then like later when the other alien's showing his ramp, it's like, oh, that ramp's too fast. Like that's it. That's the only part of the joke.
Yeah.
You ever see it, but
And then I love like they end up having to like they're like stranded in like the forest or whatever in the microverse possibly, and they have to like rebuild society and everything like that. And Morty runs off and
Yeah.
becomes friends with the tree people and all that stuff. Pretty funny.
all for ice cream.
Oh yeah, which ends up being spider
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
The alliance with the spiders.
Yeah, the writing in the show is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that feels like stale about like the episodes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And,
seriously.
like what happens in each episode and whatnot. It's not like watching. What?
Nothing.
You.
I flipped you off.
Continue.
Oh. Dirty Dan has arrived.
Hey, Dan.
What's up, man?
Hey Dan, how's it going?
It's good.
It's
Talking
good.
about Rick and Morty.
Just talking about Rick
Yeah.
and Morty, man. All right, Andrew. Cut back.
Watch the Rick and Morty marathon every episode all day long. What are you waiting for?
Whoa.
What's going
Nice.
on now?
13 hours ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah.
god, live stream.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going on now.
What?
that's cool.
That's
Well,
awesome.
should have skipped class today. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh,
See
well,
season
I
one,
did.
which is also phenomenal. Season one is really good, but I chose season two not only because it
Season-
was available on Adult Swim, but season two I think is better.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hopefully how things.
Yeah,
will
they've
go
actually
anyway,
they've
so.
improved. And
Yeah.
Dan agrees.
All right. Those are reviews for.
Cool. I'm glad you guys
today.
liked it.
Jody
Yeah,
Dan
it's
approves.
awesome. And it's something where it's like only 2 seasons and they're only like
Yeah.
22 minutes each. I'm like, this is something where I probably could watch the whole thing.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I'm probably gonna watch at least what's on AdultSwim.com.
You definitely
so.
should.
All right. Time for recommendations. What we're going to be talking about next week. We're starting with Sterling. He's got an album.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Okay, it's called Cardinal by a band called Pinegrove. I believe they're from Montclair, New Jersey, but I'm not entirely sure.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Cool. Okay,
I
guys.
All right. This is a pretty heavy thing to go with for the recommendation, but this is the best album of 2016 so far.
For Sterling.
Yeah. So
According to who?
I don't want to get your hopes. Oh, according to me,
Okay.
I don't want to get your hopes up or anything, or like have them like struck down when you listen to it and don't like it. But yeah,
Isn't it like alt country or something?
yeah. The best way to describe it is it's emo alt country. It's only 8 songs.
Did you say emo?
Yeah, I know that's kind of a trigger word for some people, but that's actually the of all the genres we just listed, that's the lightest one. It's like sprinkles,
Sprinkles
like
of
at its
emo.
heart, this is like an indie rock album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's self-produced too, which is really cool. They put it out, I think, late last year, and then, or maybe it was in January, and then Run for Cover Records was like, "Oh, you guys are an awesome band,
Feb.
so I'm gonna put it out for you."
Mhm.
And so it got distributed to a large amount of people, and they performed on TV on Saturday for the first time, which is amazing. Yeah, but Pinegrove, awesome band.
Not.
Oh yeah,
very-
there it is, Montclair, New Jersey, on their Bandcamp.
Not very good artwork though.
I know. I think it looks like a painting that maybe they took a picture
Yeah.
of.
Some
and
modern
stamps
art.
or something.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
but I'll let you interpret that for
Anyway.
yourselves when you
Okay.
listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a nice, short, compact,
It is
concise album.
It's quick.
It's a quick
Sweet.
Look at all those.
Is it on Tidal?
It is. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right.
Andrew.
My turn.
A video game.
Video
about a
game.
woman.
Called Her Story. Written and directed by Sam Barlow. Came out in June of 2015. Played it over the summer and I loved it. Sort of a little interactive fiction-y. When you like start the game, you see like an old computer screen and you're like on a database on like a police computer and you're sort of investigating this murder that happened. And sort of what you do is like you pretty much just watch videos of this interview with this woman who's giving her sort of testimony about what happened. But sort of the gameplay aspect is like all you do is just search in a database of what videos to look up. But there's no clues about exactly which way to go. For example, like I think when you start the game, murder is already in the search bar and there's like 4 videos show up and you watch them. But then you'll be like, oh, in this one video, she mentions like, I came home from this city one day and then found the body. I'm going to search the name of that city and it shows up videos of every time she says that name of that city. And you watch another video. Oh, she mentions this guy that she met that same day. I'm gonna search the name of that guy, and then you watch those videos. And what's great about it is that it's very organic about how you do it, because I'm sure none of us are gonna get to the same place the same way. But it's very free. How it sort of gives you a lot of control about how you want to sort of discover what her story is.
Interesting.
And also try to figure out what this murder's going on. And also just on a larger scale, like, who are you, you know, because you're playing on a computer screen, like, who is doing this also. So a lot of intrigue. Takes only like a couple hours to beat. But yeah, acting is great. Writing is great. Yeah, I really like this game.
Would you call this a text-based game?
Video? It's all like FMV videos.
So yeah, all you type is just search. Like
search and then
stuff.
videos clips come up, and they're
Cool.
like range from like 5 seconds to like a minute,
Interesting.
and you watch them, and it's really, really neat. I've never
That's
seen a
cool.
game like it.
I was about to say I've never heard of a game like this. So
I don't think Gus is excited.
I'm very hesitant
You're
about this
dreading it?
already. Yeah,
All right.
videos and live action. Oh boy,
But it's about the story, man. It's about her story.
It's about her story.
yeah, she better be a damn good actor. That's the one thing that has to carry.
Well,
this
I'm
game, right?
sure she must be if Andrew likes it. I'm sure you wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that,
This game couldn't work, right, if she wasn't a good
Yeah.
actress.
'Cause
It would
it
be
is
a
all-
joke. It would be
it's just watching
it'd be
videos, pretty much, you know?
It would be like
Cool.
referred to as like a terrible game, which I've heard. I mean, I haven't really heard anything, but I know of its existence.
What, this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Gus the first.
I am pitching a made-for-TV reality film called Windy City Heat. It was made for Comedy Central in 2003, and it's a Bobcat Goldthwait film.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jimmy Kimmel like produced it, I think. And so what it is so there's this real life guy, and his name is Perry Caravello, and he's kind of just this how do I even put it? Like he's pretty oblivious to
I
things.
think you mentioned this.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
mentioned this before. I wanted to pitch it, and so the whole premise is so this is a real person. He thinks he has a deal to be in a feature-length action movie. He thinks he's been casted, and so the whole point of the film is that they have him like come on set and everything, and they do all this shit to him that's terrible and everything, and he just has to. He just has to stick through it because he wants to be a
And he's
movie
convinced it's
star.
real.
He is
Wow.
convinced it is real, but it is not real, and so I will just leave it at that. I'm really interested to see how you guys will react to it because, like, I'm pretty torn, like, morally on
Oh,
it
sweet.
because it's like, do you? Because Perry is not exactly a sympathetic person.
I mean, yeah, just look at that face.
Look at that face. He's obnoxious, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, he's totally duped. But yeah, I think that'll be a good bit to talk about next week.
It reminds me of a documentary called The Act of Killing, which came out 2012. These filmmakers went to Indonesia, and they met with these sort of leaders of these death squads who carried out massacres there, and they said, "Hey, we want to do a movie with you guys and sort of reenact what you guys did." And then they made a documentary of them making the films with the death squad people.
Yeah.
And so they didn't know that they were like being criticized.
Mhm.
Because from their perspective, they're like hailed as sort of heroes in the like in the society, and they're always like, you know, and so like it sort of that mockumentary in a documentary aspect, just reminded me of that.
Mhm.
Except this is Act of Killing is so disturbing.
I feel like someone
It
was
sounds
talking
like it
about
might
that
be.
recently.
Yeah.
Kind of
Might have
sounds
been you.
interesting though. Might
It
check
is
out.
phenomenal. Yeah.
But yeah, this should be on YouTube, by the way. That's
Oh,
where I saw
nice.
it. So yeah,
The only other Bobcat Goldthwait film I've seen is
God Bless America. Fucking did not like it.
Not yeah.
No.
They're like
Really-
it was very gimmicky at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
it just got pretty bad. towards the end.
I'm a big fan of dark comedies, and that was not a good one.
Yeah.
It was very like blah. The only good part is when they kill the dude from TMZ, like his look-alike, so to
Yeah.
speak.
I mean, like, I think this got a lot of buzz because of the scene where they kill people in the theater for talking.
Oh, I thought it would be where they kill the teenage girl in her car.
Well, I heard about the film because they made a big deal, like, oh, they're killing people in the theater. Like, aren't you mad when people talk in the theater, sort of thing? But I want to kill them.
Oh yeah.
But,
No, it's a bit. Yeah, it's totally like. I think it's pretty lame. It's a lame film.
God bless America.
God bless America. It tries way too hard.
yes,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it. But anyway, we're done.
We are done.
There's only one thing I have to do. You guys could just sit back and you could start leaving now to go.
Gus
Yeah.
out.
But what everyone listening should do is like our Facebook page at facebook.com/wheelhousecast. Follow us on Twitter at wheelhousecast. Subscribe to our feed on iTunes. We can also rate and review us, which these guys are doing right now on their phones. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Finally, if any questions, you want to be on the show, review something, recommend something, you could email us at wheelhousecast@gmail.com. Thank you, Sterling. Thank you, Gus.
Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
All right, and we are out.